Hope you got a lint roller and your boxing gloves, because we're going to be talking about Teen Wolf 2.
Lint roller in your boxing gloves? Was that for the movie?
Well,
he sheds and then he boxes. Yeah.
Oh God, I'm stupid. Hello.
No, you're not. That movie.
I didn't get it either, Amy.
The movie is stupid.
Well,
Hack to Ghoul.
That'd
be hard to use because like the boxing glove has just that one big
mitten
hand part and the thumb.
Unless you take it and you stick it in there.
But like,
stick it in there.
You take it and you stick it in there.
You're gonna have to get somebody else to peel it off for you the next.
That's true.
Sheet.
You do have to have someone peel.
Yeah, because you're not going to be able to do that yourself. Let's be real.
Andy's going to review The Communion Girl.
Ooh.
It's a movie for Russian roulette. Patreon.com/NOTLP. Origins is out. This was the
September 2011.
Second Hispanic Heritage Month episode of all time. The main attraction was Alucarda.
Please.
And what was the roulette? Do you remember?
Dream House.
Dream House. That's right. Dream Home.
Oh, sorry.
This was from back in 2011, right?
We just recorded our little commentary.
Yep.
From now.
For patrons.
For the patrons.
Also on Patreon, some Horror Hound coverage. We just got back from Horror Hound weekend in Indianapolis.
I cannot hang. I'm so tired. Andy, are you tired?
I'm so tired.
So fucking tired.
I'm just tired.
Tired.
Yeah.
It was a great time. But the recap, Amy pointed out to me that we posted a day one recap on Saturday morning and a day two recap on Sunday morning to the Patreon page, which are just brief little recaps of what happened the day before. But Amy, what was it?
I said I listened to both of them, not all of the second one, but I'm like, oh shit, we talked about the same stuff in both episodes, pretty much. I think we forgot we had already talked about it because of the whirlwind, the excitement, the madness and chaos that is Indianapolis.
Oh, you get two for the price of one.
Yeah, I mean, there's other different things in there.
Other things happened. The vomit was in between.
The vomit was in between.
So your job is to go through the episode and find the parts that are different. Yes. It's like a puzzle game.
Yep.
And you write to us, and if you get it right, we'll send you a prize. No, I'm kidding.
A pin.
We gave away pins to new mailing list subscribers. If you're just now discovering the show, thank you for dropping by.
Sometimes against their will.
Yes. At the end of the show, we were packed up, and Freddie handed me 3 pins, and he's like, just give these to anybody. I don't have anywhere to put them. So I'm nervously standing there like, who the fuck am I going to give these to? And I just see these people behind me and I'm like, hey, can you guys just take these? They're free. I don't have anywhere to put them. You can throw them away later if you want. And I start to walk away. And then I hear, wait, I listen to this show.
Oh.
And that's how I met Michael, Emma, and Nick. Did I say that right? I wrote your names down. Yes. Okay, we're good.
Neat.
And it was lovely. I mean, I don't think Emma and Nick listened to the show, but Michael did. So thank you so
Michael.
much. It was a
Thanks.
It was a small world moment.
We're bigger than we thought.
Oh, we're huge. Do you know how many times I said to people, they were like, oh, how long have you been doing this? And I'd say 17 years. And they go, what?
Yeah, so that brings me
They're
to...
like, why haven't I ever heard of you? Why isn't there a Wikipedia entry for you like there is for so many other friends' podcasts?
That's super weird.
Why is there no record of you in any kind of media?
There's no record of us.
Other than your own.
Are we dead?
Exist outside of...
Did we
This
die?
doesn't actually go to the
time.
internet. This is a weird experiment that's being done to us.
If you think that we are underrepresented out there, which I agree with, sign up for our mailing list at notlp.com. We just sent out our first, the teaser for Back to Ghoul. And then what I'm thinking is if you like this show, Hack to Ghoul, and you have that email sitting in your inbox,
forward it to a friend.
Forward it to somebody you think that likes horror movies and this sort of stuff. Yeah. Spread the word.
Who likes Teen Wolf 2? Don't send them this because it's not going to be nice. I don't know how it could for anybody. But
well, no. Maybe people who get residuals from it.
Maybe.
They might be able to find enjoyment in it. They maybe watch it like once a year. Or on those quarterly, when they get their quarterly,
when they get their
$4 checks.
They get their quarter check in.
Yeah. Which is just a quarter.
That's why they call it quarterly.
It is. I don't know if you knew that. You get your royalty checks a quarter at a time. So if you get $1 million in royalty checks, it's going to take you a real long time to get all of it. You'll get it,
You will.
but it's going to be a quarter at a time.
Well, I told
Quarterly.
Andy. So there was vomit on the sidewalk in front of the hotel on Sunday morning when we were leaving,
That
which
sounds
is
like a
like
lyric.
whatever. That's kind of normal.
That sounds like a Christopherson lyric.
Yes. And Freddie, there's something floating in my drink.
Ugh.
Can you go dump this out
it's
and
vomit.
come back?
You should have been like, what
I
is
don't
this
wanna
fly
know.
doing in my drink? And then
wanna-
I could say the backstroke.
So Andy was like, all right, how much to lick?
It's a game we play every time we
And
see
I
something
said,
gross.
$1 million. And he said, can I pay you $1 every week for the next million weeks? And it's like, I don't think that doesn't work over the life of the human being that you're paying back.
Well, with the new medical technology, you
Hey,
never know, Amy.
You never know.
That's a high ask. Now I tell you, my self-worth has come up since the last time I played this game with everybody.
Good.
But it would still only take me like 20 thou.
Okay, you don't have to eat all of the vomit, just a lick of it.
20,
I went down. We got to
20 thou would probably get me to lick
yes.
a bit of vomit.
Bit of vomit.
I got down to 16,500
Oh, yeah, that's
to put my
reasonable.
finger on it and then lick my finger.
Bit of vomit's the worst
Oh,
candy
so
ever
there you
made.
go. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is very gross and I'm sorry if you're eating, but it was cracking my shit up. And I always love talking about these things like, what is your number?
If you're eating
Anybody
while
can be
you,
bought.
while you listen to this show, you are a first-time listener.
Unless they're eating vomit.
Unless
you're
they're eating
eating
vomit. And
And
then
then
they
this is
probably listen
great.
all the time.
There's like, I'm doing this for free. Blah, blah, blah.
Just a quick plug for another thing we do called Topic Hannah, which is on the Patreon page. Patreon, not patron, Patreon.
I don't have one ready to go, by the way.
All right.
That's okay, but we'll be recording it later this week, and there's a bunch of old ones there,
Yeah.
A bunch of cruncha.
A bunch of.
which is just our show where we ask questions, fun questions, and give hopefully fun answers.
Yeah.
Andy did a drive-by on Alex Winter,
Not like with guns.
but with awkwardness. Do you want to tell the story? I think this is the cutest thing I've ever heard. I was too tired to go with Andy, and I was like, so proud of you that you went by yourself to go see him and get him to sign your poster. But what did you do?
I just got it signed and left.
He didn't even talk to
I
him?
didn't say a word to him, but it's like, I have a freak poster. And then he signed it. I was like, thank you, bye.
I said to Andy, oh, did he like the poster? And Andy's like, I didn't say anything to him. He didn't say anything to me.
Well, you got a picture, though, right?
Yeah.
And I tagged Alex Winter and pointed to the arrow pointing up just to Andy's face.
No, he's the perfect celebrity for me to meet, at least.
Yeah.
No interaction.
Yeah.
Get your business, sign your shit, and get it done.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
out of here. So efficient. And maybe he probably picked up on my nervousness and
Yeah.
said, like, ooh,
Did he say anything to you?
no.
That's the
No,
weird
well,
part.
he
He's
said, like,
probably into
hi,
it.
how you doing? Like, obviously.
Right.
Like,
You didn't
that's it.
answer him.
I was like, I didn't say hi back.
You
I
just
don't think.
unrolled your freak
I was
poster.
like, I have a freak poster. He was like, okay. And I watched him sign it. And then
It's so cute.
I didn't say, like, because you write down what you want
Yeah.
on a note, like a Post-it, like
Oh, okay.
autograph and selfie
I
or something.
love you for all this time,
Yeah.
Andy. I wish we could be closer, but we aren't.
And I was like, la, 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 la. I didn't, even when it was picture time, I didn't ask him about it. I just
God.
told the assistant, they're like, can you take our picture? And then we took our picture. I was like, thank you. And then just, I didn't,
But
I
he
don't
probably
think I looked
loved the
at him.
shit out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was probably tired as fuck too.
It was,
You know, that is pretty true.
It was Sunday, so obviously everybody want to get out there.
True enough.
So thank you, Alex Winder, if you're listening, for being so
Efficient.
yes. And
I just think it's no, because I don't like to do it either. I'm not, there was a moment where I'm like, fucking Michael Ironside. Oh, Kathy and Jimmy. But I'm like, I'm not.
Yeah.
What am I gonna
Kathy
do?
and Jimmy was there?
Yeah, Peggy Hill, motherfucker.
That's awesome. I've only ever done it once. I've met celebrities there. If it's organic, or in the old days, and maybe now you guys are in the same room with them again. I say you guys because I don't ever go anymore, listeners, just in case you're wondering. But
You were asked about a lot.
I'm certain I was.
Of course.
And everyone who asked, thank you.
even Alex Winder asked about you.
Yeah.
And I don't.
He didn't even answer.
Yeah, I didn't answer. I was like,
He's like, poster.
I couldn't like give an answer where you were. I was like, bye.
He's a fan. But what was I talking about?
You were.
About a celebrity you might have met.
Oh yes.
Every year on the anniversary of Andy meeting Alex Winter, you should send him the picture.
You should.
Remember this guy who did look you in the eye or speak to you.
With no commentary.
He'll definitely remember you. I only did it once with it was our first horror hound, and it was 10 minutes into the door, and I really no disrespect or offense meant to this person, but like I blew my wad too hard too soon. It was Tom Savini.
Yeah.
He and on top of which you could either get a picture of him signed or he had DVDs of things. And I already owned Creepshow on Blu-ray or DVD or whatever it was, but I bought another one for $22.99 so I could have him sign it. And because that was first horror celebrity, I was so jazzed. I was like, Tom fucking Savini, and now I'm like, oh,
he's at everywhere.
You said that to him, Tom fucking Savini?
No. Oh. No, I just said,
like, wow, you're really familiar already.
Would you sign this for me? And he said, sure.
He was the first thing you saw when you entered the Mask Fest portion of Horror Hound this weekend?
This year. Oh.
Yeah. It's Tom Savini right there.
Are we sure it was him?
It's looking good. You know, I know he
could have been
does
Tom
some
Savini mask.
It could have been.
Yeah.
I know he's a man that takes care of himself, and good for him. You're allowed to.
Yeah.
But like for his age.
I'm hoping to be that guy.
Yeah. I mean, it could be monster makeup.
He is a makeup artist.
I mean, who knows what he looks like?
It's all latex. That's his whole. He's actually only this tall now, but
have you ever seen
the
him
rest of him is latex?
Like rained on or anything? Has anyone seen him wet?
I have never seen him wet.
No, it's like Death Becomes Her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Peeling paint off.
But that's the only time.
You should have seen the
I met
masks.
Stephen Williams. That was the
That's
only
true.
one I was
That
really
was-
that excited for.
That was awesome.
Stood in line
met him.
that same year, that first year, and I don't know if it just wasn't etiquette yet, or if we just didn't, or I didn't understand it. Stood in line just to say hi to Tony Todd. Paid for nothing. I don't think I got a picture though, but I did stand in line and I just talked to him. Just said hi, and I don't know if that's like super cool to do anymore.
I don't think so, which is so weird. But
It was more casual back then.
you got to
so
pay for the
casual.
right to say hi.
There were a lot fewer of us in attendance. Like this was before The Walking Dead came out
Yeah.
and the horror convention scene exploded.
Yeah.
Explode.
The masks. I just wanted to say, if you haven't seen the masks pictures and stuff, Kelly, have you seen the stuff that we posted?
Oh, yes, I put little hearts on it.
So friggin' awesome.
A lot of cool masks.
Some of the stuff was so great.
Cool gremlin mask.
Andy, you took some of the best pictures too for the Instagram.
Thank you, Android phone.
Yeah,
All you iPhone people.
Is your Android's name Andy also?
Andy, the
Andy
Android.
Android.
So
Andy
the
Droid?
and the Android stands for the A&D.
This guy was walking past our booth with a head tucked under his arm, and it was Jim Jones.
It was a cool mask, but I
He's from
questioned
Indiana.
that person.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's gonna put it on like a spike in effigy, like and just
That's what it is.
disrespect it.
Yeah. It was a really good likeness of Jim Jones
It was startling to see that head floating around.
under a man's arm. So yeah, we had a great time as always.
Yeah, go to our social media pages, like some stuff.
Andy's got
Ooh,
his
the
booty
nuns.
pics.
The nuns.
Oh, the
And there were
nuns.
nuns all over the place.
That picture of us got more likes, and it's the most most popular post ever. Thanks to the nice people at the Nun movie and the Conjuring universe, because they shared our story.
You guys
No,
got
share
beat
us
to a
on their
nunnery.
story. Yeah.
Oh,
So they
yeah.
had 20
They shared our story.
our stories.
Our story of our podcast of 17 years.
They had 20 nuns doing like a photo op for you, and they're the nuns, like they have like
Evil
black
nuns.
masks. They're evil nuns. You can see it on our thing. So they would walk around, but then you can get your picture taken with all of them, which was really creepy. The woman taking the pictures took some interesting shots. I'm just gonna say, ma'am, I didn't need to see all of that of my
She
fat
took
ass.
video and
Yeah.
she
What
knows.
did she-
I always get mad at the
Did she
people
talk
who
your clothes off or something?
Really?
That's what it sounds like.
I just didn't need to see my big
She
fat
just took
ass.
a lot of pictures. Like normally somebody taking pictures for you like takes one or two.
Yeah.
But it felt like she had the phone in her hand for
It was a nice
while.
thing she did for me for free, and I'm mad at her at the angles she got. No, I'm kidding. But what was so funny, and they were creepy and they were lovely, but I kept going to the bathroom with them, like at the same time. Like there would be 6 or 3 or 2.
That's your
like
kink.
it was nuns for days, and they've got their, masks up because they're brushing their hair and shit. It was very funny.
Oh, you got to see their real faces.
Yes.
Like seeing Darth Vader's face.
Yes.
Probably less disappointing.
And it's like, I did not like The Nun, so I'm worried about The Nun too. But thank you for all the fun.
The second Ouija movie was a
True.
big improvement.
But that was Mike Flanagan.
Yeah. So who knows?
Yeah. And also go please
Go please a nun.
Go please a nun.
please go like my picture of my cosplay because I was
Oh yeah,
I had cosplay anxiety.
tiny underwear Ripley.
Well, it gave me a little anxiety too because it looked like I was trafficking you when you made me go around the corner and you stripped down to that little Ripley costume. You're like, take pictures of me here in front of these doors by the trash.
In a way, I'm trafficking you, even though I'm the trafficked
Oh, okay.
party.
You're trafficking me.
I thought I could.
Who's trafficking who? Who rescued who?
I thought I was brave enough to do the cosplay in front of people, but I wasn't.
Well, that's all right.
You could see my dick.
You could straight up see it.
Yeah, Andy kept talking about how they'll put bread in there to smooth things out for modeling shoots.
Bread.
But you didn't have any bread.
So couldn't find any bread. And he was going to make a dick sandwich.
I had bread, but it was multigrain, and that
You're
would
gonna
just
get a
you
yeast
don't want that.
infection.
You don't want that.
that just looks like I have warts on my dick.
Oh my god.
And then maybe one of those, like, a little bit of barley gets in your urethra, and then when you're in the ER trying to figure out.
Smells like beer.
Oh, stories of the ER. That could be on that
Untold
show.
stories of the ER. Get into it. I
Now
am
they're
loving
told.
streaming it.
They're not untold anymore.
They make those poor doctors act.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
I don't think I just discovered this show. I get it that everybody knows about this show. I'm just saying I just found it on streaming.
Wait a minute. Have you checked her sodium levels?
It used to only be a hotel room show. Like when you were traveling, it was always on. But now I can have it anytime I
I
want.
remember that one time we were watching it at late at night, and there was a show all about sex accidents.
Sex
Isn't that
you
all
need
it's
to
ever
the ER.
about? Like, isn't
That's
that
a little about.
That's the spinoff
Yeah.
where it's only sex.
A lot of broken penises that we saw that night.
broken pieces, stuff up butts, I imagine, stuff up vaginas.
I saw on Reddit.
finger stuck in people.
I saw
What?
someone get an eggplant taken out of their rectum.
Whoa.
Wow, eggplants are so soft.
No, like a big eggplant.
Oh.
Like I was
a
like, what?
firm
And the
one.
caption was something like assisting someone with their constipation, and it's like they have like a apparatus,
No.
a camera and stuff, and there's this light coming
Let's
out
talk
of this
about the
person's
vomit
butthole.
instead.
But then they pull out this intact eggplant. It looked like it was almost 2 feet
It
long.
sounds like a magic trick. And it sounds like a deep fake. I don't know.
It was big.
Oh, huge news.
Huge.
If you're me.
Yeah.
The new costume for little girls and like young women at Horror Hound is now Megan. And I think this is such a step up from Harley Quinn. Yes. Mithrigan. I saw so many adorable Mithrigans. Oh my God. So cute.
The cutest costumes for me were the little pinhead. I don't know if you saw the little pinhead.
I didn't see Little Pinhead.
Little pinhead was adorable. And little Loomis was top of the heap.
Little Loomis.
Little Loomis was top of the heap.
Little kid wear a bald cap.
He had a bald
And playing
cap.
an old man.
And he was the
trench
Loomis with the scars on his face from where he got burned in the second movie. He was a little Loomis.
You think this kid asked for that level of detail? You think they were like, Dad,
He was by himself.
Dad.
I'm just browsing.
Hey, for all we know, he could be like a
He's like, I've
like a Benjamin Button or something.
I've seen Halloween 78, 79 times since I was 3. And my parents, they don't like this shit. They just don't like it. You know, they have not showed it to me. They have not, they do not dress me up in like little Ramones shirts or anything like that. This is not their doing.
Sure.
I swear to that.
No, honestly, there are some kids that we know, like,
Oh, yes.
actually like horror. But this little ghost face had to be like maybe 2 or 3 years old. I don't think he's seen Scream.
That's sort of like putting a ghost face mask on your dog.
Do you think it's unethical for a little person to enter a child's costume contest?
Do I think it's unethical?
Or do you
Yes.
think their lives are already hard enough?
No, we're not having this conversation.
Okay.
Wow, honey.
I'm just saying, like,
No,
somebody made me
no.
think, you know, it'd be like a ringer.
No. Anyway, that's enough of that.
Sure.
Thank you, Amy.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Can we go on now?
Probably.
Let's goon.
Let's go.
Hello, boys and girls. It's time for straight to video Russian roulette.
Hey Andy, did spending all that time with those nuns affect how you took this movie in?
Very little nuns in this movie, if any. I don't think I saw one nun.
Wow, in a movie called Communion Girl.
Communion Girl.
I saw a
okay.
priest, but I don't think I remember seeing a nun.
There were none.
Yeah.
Yes, there was one nun, but she was just for the
One nun instead of none?
One nun.
One nun, please.
It wasn't really a religious horror movie.
This is getting to be
It
a
was
habit.
just
Well, that's good.
in
Freddy!
name.
Okay, so the Communion Girl is not really religious.
No, it's a ghost movie. It just
well.
happened to have
Religious people.
yeah. It was a girl that took communion that was a ghost.
You're like, this is in Whitley Strieber's Communion universe.
It's not like a possession type of thing, or like what you would
Right.
expect for a religious horror movie.
Gotcha.
But it's just a ghost that took communion.
Not even a demon ghost.
It's just a
just
ghost.
a ghost.
What's the difference between demon ghost and
just a
Paranormal
ghost.
Activity. It's demon.
Oh, that's
right?
demons. Yeah, this is
And
just a
then
ghost.
there's
ghost.
You
Grave
got your,
Encounters.
you
is
got
like
your dead
ghosts.
people
Right.
who were people and then they died.
They die.
And their shit hanging around. That's a ghost. Then you get your demons. They were never people, but they could do all kinds of things. They're spirit beings. They always were.
You sound like a Muppet now.
Yeah. I'm the Muppet that describes demons v ghosts. And that's the deaf.
The case of demons v ghosts.
That's right.
Demons V goes down, 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 down. I'm Doug Llewellyn.
Oh, you're doing People's Court. I thought you were
This
doing
was
Law
just
and
a
Order.
straight up ghost movie.
Okay, I like that.
Out the way first. Can I be superficial?
Sure.
Judging by this movie, Spain is a beautiful country.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah, Spain is
They're
a
just
beautiful country.
everybody in this movie is very striking.
Oh, you meant the people.
Yes.
I thought
I'm
you
sure
meant the landscape.
In terms of like the landscape and the country, it is beautiful too. But just the casting, is
España.
very striking people. So
Okay.
good for you, movie for looking good.
Thanks for the eye candy. Is what
Yeah.
you're saying.
Well done on
Thanks.
keeping the Uggos off screen.
Well, even the Uggos were not Uggos
They were
per
movie
se.
ugly?
They were just memorable in a good way, not like
In a spank bank
Yeah.
way.
not even that. Anyway,
How were their
out the way.
dumpers?
This is stay on a ghost movie. This girl, she finds apparently when you take communion as a child, the little girls get dolls.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was a
I'm-
cultural thing I didn't know
Yeah.
about, so I had to kind of suss it out myself.
Mm-hmm.
So this teenager, she finds some girl's communion doll, and it's really old. And it turns out the doll is the kind of like the cursed object that brings the ghost girl that was attached to it
Oh.
Gotcha.
to terrorize whoever finds it.
Okay.
Leading up to that point, like to the first 2/3, nothing really surprising. It's very ringy, like The Ring.
Ring-esque.
Ring-esque. And it was fine up until that point, but then the last third and the ending especially just came out of nowhere and kind of ruined the movie.
Did it shit the bed?
A little bit.
It shit the bed. Who shit the bed?
It's like that episode of It's Always Sunny. We had to find
Yeah.
out who and why they shit the bed.
Well, it was this movie. We know that much.
Like up until the point where you get to the last act, I liked it. It wasn't anything like
that
mind blowing.
sucks, man, when that
Yeah.
happens. You think you're going to
Yeah.
have a good review?
And like I said, it's nothing I haven't seen before, but it was just really well. It was well done,
Right.
and you get invested in the mystery and everything. But then the last act kind of drags, and the reveal at the end, it was like, where the fuck did that come from?
Really? Since you're not recommending it, do you want to say what it was?
Do you think it
I think I do
earned
recommend
enough?
it,
Okay, you do.
but it didn't totally ruin the movie for me
I
to not
gotcha.
recommend it.
But it definitely knocked a star or two
Yes,
off.
exactly.
Okay.
I mean, it made it borderline recommend at this point,
Right.
because of the end was just what?
What?
Which probably
what?
means this is a damn near flawless movie because Andy hates everything. That's not true. I'm just being silly. But you are pretty hard on movies. So even if you say like I really like this first
Yes.
part.
I like it because the characters are just good characters.
Right.
I like it for the frosting.
Can't have too much frosting.
Never.
So you're the one licking all the cupcakes and leaving some moist cupcakes left behind.
Him and Ariana Grande.
Those are donuts.
Those were donuts, Kelley. Okay.
I'm making a cupcake joke here.
I can't believe the faux pas I just made.
Get out.
I have to go do
Take your
some
shit.
kind of penance.
Get out.
Oh.
Turns out she's canceled now for being a homewrecker.
Homewrecker.
I don't think you shouldn't get canceled for that.
You really shouldn't.
Where was I at?
You know, it's a real home wrecker.
Are saying that it
The
earned
characters.
Yeah.
Jumanji board game.
Because all the animals literally came and wrecked the house.
Yeah.
Did it come? Everything got put back together at the end, right?
Yeah.
Cat in the Hat.
I think so. Cat in the Hat's a real home wrecker.
But it's set in the 80s and it has a lot of 80s tropes. You know how all the bad kid always has like an alcoholic father or mother?
Yeah.
That's a nice
That's
touch.
so 80s.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen anymore.
Thank God they cured that.
In
You
real
know
life.
what I mean.
I know what you
In
mean
terms
in
of
movies.
movies.
I know I'm being silly. I'm being silly, Auntie.
You silly goose. But I will say it got a little heavy at times.
Yeah.
It's just a lighten up movie.
Just come on, movie. Just lighten up a little bit.
on.
Come on. Just
It's like
take
some
your
movie
shirt
about
off.
ghosts. It should be not so heavy where you're just like, ugh.
Yeah. So it's an iffy recommend from Andy.
Yeah, it's
The
an iffy
Communion
recommend.
Girl. The Communion Girl.
It's maybe you might like it.
I would say it was really well lit.
oh,
Really good cinematography.
This movie is fucking
Yeah.
lit.
Yo,
possibly the best lit film of the year. Andy Hung, Not a Living Podcast.
They should put us on the poster. Pretty people, great lighting. Maybe they're only pretty because of the lighting. I hear lighting can do a lot.
What's next?
All right, thank you, Andy,
thank you.
for your efforts.
Your forts. Your farts.
The next movie, next roulette movie is Sea Fever. It is on Shudder.
C stands for cock.
How do you spell C? Like
As I'm
SEA
on the
or-
sea.
Oh, SEA
We're floating
fever.
along the sea.
I see fever right there.
For marine biology student Siobhan, it was supposed to be a research excursion with a trawler crew fishing to the West Irish Seas. Out in the deep Atlantic, an unfathomable. Yep,
Whoa.
I'm doing great. I can read just fine. Life form ensnares the boat, and they become marooned with a mysterious parasite infecting their water supply. Soon, the oozing force infiltrates the entire vessel and turns Siobhan's journey into a claustrophobic fight for survival. Starring Doug Ray Scott. Wasn't he in something?
Doug Ray Scott.
Doug Ray Scott's and all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
He's got three first names.
He was considered to be Wolverine before Hugh Jackman took over.
He's the Tom Selleck to Hugh Jackman's Harrison Ford.
That is a very good thing you did.
That's in
there.
his Twitter bio, actually.
Thanks.
And also ran. Okay, let's see who's gonna watch this movie.
Sounds kind of cool. I don't
Sea
know.
Fever. I see fever. I eat it.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, Kelley, congratulations.
Oh, see, I just made my own luck. I said it sounded good, and then I got it.
Look at you visualized and made the secret happen.
I'm a manifester, baby.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an Uncle Fester.
Turn out lights, it's the main attraction.
Oh, it's a werewolf in a college setting.
Zing.
Everybody's okay with werewolf. It's a world that werewolves exist in.
This is what we said. Well,
No.
the whole time. Well, no, the whole fucking time, plus all the time in the movie previously, werewolf shows up.
Yeah.
And it is just like I don't think it's like a world of werewolves.
Right.
I think if you never met this family, you'd never know a werewolf
Right.
existed. But when they show up,
Everybody's like, whatever.
everybody's like, "What?"
I think it's like 1 in every 100 people is a werewolf.
It seems like it.
You
least
know,
in
in
that
that it's
family.
rare. You may never have met a werewolf, but someone you know knows a werewolf.
Yeah.
In this world, I think
It's
the only way it makes any sense at all.
It's
They are so nonchalant.
it's ridiculous.
I mean, they call him a dog.
But this
and
is,
then he does dog things sometimes.
oh,
Yeah.
he does dog things
Teen
like catching a
Wolf
frisbee
2.
Teen Wolf 2.
The Kent Bateman
joint.
joint starring Jason Bateman. So that was interesting.
And Kent Bateman is who?
His father.
His father, who actually has some horror cred. There was this movie, I actually sent it to you guys earlier. I think it was called like Eyeballs on Parade or something. Something.
Great name.
It's called The Headless Eyes. Came out in 1971. This was the first movie that Kent Bateman wrote and directed.
Okay, well, check it out.
Got an X rating, I assume for violence. Says a poor artist gets eye gouged out while committing a robbery. Gets eye gouged out.
Yeah.
While committing a robbery.
When his eye heals, he goes on a killing spree and cuts out women's eyes with a spoon.
This is a very matter of fact
spoon. You can dig one out.
synopsis.
Yeah, and that
Do
is.
you feel like somebody made an AI watch that movie and that's what it came up with?
Oh, maybe.
Like not a good AI.
But that's the father of our hero, Jason Bateman.
I love Jason. Who
I
doesn't
do
love
too.
Jason Bateman?
He's one of my favorites.
I love him, but in this he was not good in this role.
Nobody was.
That's the problem. Like that, like he's our hero, but he's so unlikable.
Indeed.
I liked him somewhat.
He's
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, he did he got too wrapped up. He was up his own ass.
Well,
too
that's the
much.
journey.
Yeah.
That's what this is. This is
The journey, the hero's journey.
This is a Can't Buy Me Love. This
Yes.
movie should have been other movies.
Yeah.
If you had taken the werewolf story completely out of this and made it like a sort of sillier, hornier Karate Kid for boxing,
Yes.
Yeah.
it would have been better. I don't know if it would have been good. It would have been better, right?
I heard a lot of jokes got cut.
If I
Yes,
can,
that's the problem.
I can see that. If the other thing we just said, there's another movie this is, and
What?
And that movie is
When you said
going to
Can't
be
Buy Me
right after
Love?
the break. No, okay.
no, I'm saying it's a kind of movie, and I can't remember what that kind was.
Sex comedy?
Like
You said Ferris Bueller
A romp.
meets something,
I didn't say
right?
that, no.
Somebody did.
Oh, I said it was like Ferris Bueller Goes to Animal House is what they thought they were making
Yeah,
With literal animals.
with literal animals. And like, there's so much to talk about. Go ahead, Amy.
I have a question though.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Or it's the Can't Buy Me Love. Like if they just done that, like the journey of, oh, I'm a nerd. Oh, now I'm hot
at
and
boxing.
did some, and then learned that, oh, I was a jerk all along and I should be nice to my old friends. Like,
But there was
better.
there was no development in his betraying his friends. That
It all happened way
everybody
too fast.
that
oh, agreed. That's because of the werewolf shit. If you'd taken that out,
Yeah.
you could have added in the
and
development.
it just they jumped into their werewolfness really soon.
Just immediately.
Well, they're like, you already get it.
Let's go through the steps
so
real quick, though. Yeah.
My question, Teen Wolf 2 or My Stepmom's a Werewolf?
Teen Wolf 2 is more of a movie,
It
I
is
would
more
say.
of a movie. Yeah.
My stepmom,
But just barely. My Mom's a Werewolf.
Or My Mom's a Werewolf.
Oh, it wasn't Stepmom? Why did I think
That's
it
My
was Stepmom?
Stepmom's
It's
an Alien.
Stepmom's an Alien. Sorry, the one with John Saxon. My Mom's a
Oh,
Werewolf.
yeah, that's right. That's right. I forgot we watched that.
And I think I'm going to go, yes, Teen Wolf 2.
Slightly
Slightly
more.
This is not, these
Has
are not
a
good
better
choices.
budget, but we talked about that too, Elise, when we were watching it.
I mean, it had a better budget, but it didn't even look that good.
It didn't look great. It looked slightly better than My Mom is a Werewolf.
Yeah.
So Uncle Harold is the dad from Teen Wolf.
People show back up. Chubbs.
Chubbs shows those two actors are reprising those characters, but
Chubbs and Styles.
and then Styles is a new actor, but it's the same character.
Same character, different. I thought it was a different Styles because this guy is more like meatball-y.
Isn't it weird that the
He's
guy on the Teen
meatball-y.
Wolf TV show can say he's the third person to play Styles?
I've never even seen the Teen Wolf show.
It's for teens.
Now, did you guys remember this from watching Teen Wolf? Because I didn't remember this at all.
I did. I saw Teen Wolf a bunch of times as a kid. I didn't even like it then. But you remember how you used to just watch movies just because that's what you had?
Yeah.
And that was one I had. And so I know that movie pretty well. So I remember the characters. And
I don't really
I don't know.
remember
This movie's
anything.
asking a lot of us.
I agree. Oh, it's asking way too much.
You mean even the first one?
No, the second one.
Well,
Just
yes.
yeah.
I would say
Because
the first
never
one was
forget
also-
that Summer of Tears made a brilliant version. It's like a 7-minute version. Their comedy troupe of Teen Wolf, where they edited themselves into the movie, and their characters all just point out everything that's really fucked up about the movie Teen Wolf, like the bestiality bit and all that.
It's pretty funny.
This movie, it feels. I wish they would have done it with this one too, because there's just so many weird fucking moments.
So here's my first thing. I'm like, why is his uncle bringing him to his first day of college? Do his parents not like him?
Oh, they like him.
It was something that I got really stuck on. And then
But the only reason is so you can reprise the character.
Right, exactly. Like, duh. And you know, I figured out, I know the name Styles because I did watch a few seasons of the Teen Wolf TV show, and I've seen the other movie, but it's been years. And I worked out that Chubbs had been around before. And I feel like he should have had a better name.
He's also Francis.
He's
in Pee-wee's
Francis,
Big
that's
Adventure.
right.
Oh, that's right.
I thought he was the guy from Society at first because they look very similar. You know, the guy that got shunted.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And then I was like, why are they dissecting frogs in college biology? I feel like that's a high school thing.
Why are they throwing them at each other?
And then they have a frog
Well, you
fight.
brought up, like, I feel like this type of movie doesn't work in college.
Well,
It works in college, but they did it bad.
But like it was too kiddie for a college movie.
It felt like a Disney Channel movie.
But it does. To me, it doesn't work in college. Like I can buy it in high school and like middle school and like younger kids, but the tone was not college appropriate for me.
Well, I feel like in the 80s, because there are a lot of college movies I feel like that feel like this from the 80s. And I said, I was like, is this just what college was like in the 80s? Is this just what it was like? But this one definitely cartoonier than some. And it, you know, it straddled a weird line.
Yeah.
Just straddled a weird line.
Why boxing? Was there another Rocky out and they were like, oh, we got to capitalize on that?
I've never heard
Mike
of a
Tyson?
college team with a college with a boxing
There
team.
probably are, yeah, but and I also the coach, the only character I liked in the movie.
Yeah.
And that's another interesting thing. That coach
Great
is
character actor.
The character is the basketball coach from the first movie.
And now he's
coaching boxing because he's the one who talks about he says I coached his cousin at so and so, and then to John Astin as the dean.
Well, there's your problem. Like that's why your boxing team's failing
because you hired
your coach as a basketball coach.
That's a big problem.
Why John Astin is like, if this boxing team doesn't make it to like the national best, my career as an educator is over.
No reason.
And then we just leave it there and we move on.
There's just no reason for that probably because someone in the production or in the writing like had a buddy who is like a stuntman boxer and they were like, I got a guy, we can kind of wrap this around him. Like he can come in, he'll do the stunt stuff and the double. And they're like, yeah, all right, whatever. Doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
I think they felt like they were zigging when everybody else was zagging. They're like, you know what?
They were bobbing and weaving.
People were doing baseball this
like
year.
in boxing.
But it is silly as shit. Now, again, the last boxing fight feels like not a great one, but it feels like one of those athletic adversity busting movies.
Yeah.
Which makes it extra ridiculous.
He's taking the hits. He's not going to wolf out. He's going to be a better man now. So he's taking all the hits.
Because he became an asshole. Like after, he comes to the school hoping.
It's all a metaphor for coke and drugs and sex.
He comes to the school hoping to be like this hardcore science student, and it turns out that he is there on a boxing scholarship,
Which makes total sense.
Yes.
right? He has no background in boxing.
It's because
The coach thought he would wolf out.
It's only because he's related to Michael J. Fox's character.
Right, and the
only
coach
reason.
thinks that he'll turn into a werewolf and fight everybody and beat them because he's a werewolf. Yeah. So like he gets there on the scholarship, and then a lot of it's just him trying to take this athlete trajectory they put him on with all these courses he didn't care about and start studying a lot more science. And those moments I think are supposed to ground the movie, but it's some of the more ridiculous shit is just like him living his college life and playing fetch on the lawn of the campus.
He caught the frisbee with his mouth.
So let me bring up, and Freddie posted this scene.
It's not a fart.
It's not a fart. He's growling.
He's
know.
growling.
I'm pretty sure it was a fart.
No, I had my
It's
earbuds in,
definitely not
Freddie.
a fart. But I see why you.
I think there's both. Maybe can we both be right? He growled to cover up a fart.
But also, I think maybe Jason Bateman and Kim Darby were actually having sex because they had such a chemistry.
There was a flirty thing
And
there.
it was both in the movie, and then I also felt like they just had a chemistry.
I don't know. It was, to me, it felt very antagonistic.
She was weird. her acting choices were weird in this movie.
Granted, I get it, like with the big reveal that she's a werewolf too at the end, and she's trying to protect him.
Like I figured out the first time she looked at him and went, "Whoa," and made a weird face. I'm like, "Oh, she's probably a werewolf or something." Okay, movie.
But they had such sexual.
She's like, "I want to talk to you later," and he's like, "All right," and then he turns around,
Yeah.
and then he growls, not farts.
He turns around, looks into the camera, and Jason Bateman's like, "Squeak."
You're never gonna get over that, are you? That you think it's a fart?
I think there's a fart involved. I'm not saying 100%.
The Foley artist might have used it to create a fart to create the growl, sure, but the implication was a growl, and I'm not.
The texture present includes fart material.
Let's move on.
But
we mapped out the audio frequencies.
Yeah,
it's just a weird miss.
Everything's weird.
It's just like, what?
The girls that are so hot for him.
But they're not. They hate his guts.
They're just being forced to be nice to him.
This is actually, this is like a really...
Like the dean is like making them fuck him.
It's kind of gross, actually.
It's super gross.
The dean is prostituting these girls out just so he can be a boxer.
It's also a weird, it's just a weird choice, again, because they're supposed to give you this feeling of an archetype, right? They're a type in these kind of movies.
Right.
But in this one, they do not like him even after he is a werewolf. Like, it is all a sham.
They pulled that stupid prank on him where they put fleas underneath his chair.
Yeah, yeah. But they have sex with him.
That's before they have sex with him.
But they for sure have sex with him. But even after that, like first chance that like another dude comes along and they're just like, fuck this. Yeah. Like, I'm out. And it is I've never seen that.
Yeah.
In one of these movies, I've seen them make fun of the guy when he's a nerd,
right?
And then when he's hot, they're like,
all over him.
It only goes one way. It never swings back the other way.
And then they learn a lesson at the end.
And it's just so clear that these two girls from the get thought he was gross, didn't want to be around him, and I don't know why the dean has this power over these two.
It's very inappropriate,
just randomly.
And they had some glorious '80s flat asses.
It was flat.
Like just the epitome, the iconic '80s flat ass is in this movie.
Well, that's because the hips of their bathing suits went all the way up to their armpits. They actually hooked them over their shoulders.
Like Borat?
Yeah.
It's so weird.
That's a very high cut bikini bottom.
So high cut.
But the one girl, like his love interest, that was just so poorly drawn out that we're supposed to feel like, he's popular now, so he's not going to like this girl anymore, and
because that's what you did in the 80s. It was the formula.
But I didn't get any chemistry from them at all.
None.
No, and what was so great was like they like had a little cutesy flirty, went on a date, then he became a jerk, and then he realizes he became a jerk and goes to apologize, and he's like, "I love you."
Yeah,
kid, what?
And I said, and this is not earned.
Well, they have, like, it's the finals are here, and he has to study, and there's a study break, and then in between they take a fuck break.
Yeah.
Take a fuck break.
Well, it's all a montage.
Clear your mind out.
This movie is mostly montage.
Yeah, which I kind of appreciated.
Yeah.
The movie flew by.
Yeah, but that's the problem. Like a montage should be like a couple minutes.
There were 2 like 8-minute montages
This was
with
like a
no
Baywatch
dialogue.
episode.
It did have good music though.
It had great music.
Yeah. So that helped with the monologues. I mean, what did I just say?
I mean, I guess they tried to cram in a whole semester
Montages
of movie into this little time frame.
Well, they tried to cram a movie into this.
Yeah, they did.
Was really their first
They did a
mistake.
bad job of it. Yeah, you gotta earn your beats, and it's gotta make sense.
But they not to them. They're like,
So you know what's weird too is like in the movie, if you read the trivia for this, when Todd is George Mike. I mean, not George.
Michael Bluth.
Michael Bluth.
Michael Bluth's character.
Yes.
Jason Bateman. When he's going through Styles' stuff, there's a Teen Wolf t-shirt in there from the movie.
There were people wearing them during the like climactic boxing fight in the stands, Teen Wolf shirts.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Like in the font.
Is it because we need to be reminded what movie this is?
I think they thought.
I think they called him a Teen Wolf at some point in the movie.
Yeah, like it was like, we're just going to go ahead and say it.
It's just going to become what they call him, and then we can make this, we can utilize these t-shirts we didn't sell also, and we can put them in the movie.
Like Rambo wearing a First Blood t-shirt.
Yeah. I will say now it was kind of fun watching, and if you we are all fans, I think, as we all said, of Jason Bateman. I think it was fun watching for some of his like acting ticks, and they're there, like the responding, just looking down his eyes, sort of, and letting a moment hang. I feel like he did that a few times.
The beginning of kind of really greatness as far as a performer, like, because where he's at now and where he was then, there is a lot of development that happened, but some of it arrested.
Was this pre or post Hogan Family?
Just post, or maybe during. Actually, which I watched.
Yeah. I watched it too.
When I was talking to Elise, I realized I've been watching Jason Bateman since I was 5 years old. He was on Silver Spoons. He was on Webster. He was on the Hagen Family.
Was he on Benson?
He could have been. He was always like a little troublemaker when he was like a little kid.
Was he a little stinker?
Yeah, he was a scamp.
Do you know this movie did so poorly?
Did you know?
Did you know that they scrapped
that it killed a person?
They scrapped Teen Wolf 3, where we were going to get Alyssa Milano as the Teen Wolf.
I don't think we needed it.
I'm so glad we didn't. Can you imagine her in the Teen Wolf makeup? I'm
curious, maybe.
And if she became the Teen Wolf, imagine if this movie succeeded and then the Alyssa Milano movie succeeded.
She would have been a golfer, like a professional golfer.
Golf would be the thing now.
So you want this universe expanded?
Yeah. Would we get like Todd Bridges as a werewolf eventually if this continued? Gary Coleman, the whole Different Strokes cast?
Why not? Why stop?
Well, she was on Who's the Boss?
Yeah. Why stop at adults?
Yeah, she was on Who's the Boss. But what I mean is they were pulling people from Michael J. Fox, Family Ties, Jason Bateman.
It was the
Family.
TV. It was the TV.
Alyssa Milano, Who the Boss.
I see what you're doing.
They were plucking young actors out of sitcoms.
I think the Different Strokes people were already past plucking.
Yeah, they might have been unpluckable at that point.
But it could have been Wursler. From Mr. Belvedere.
So what are the rules of werewolves in this movie?
Star Trek.
That you're born a werewolf.
No, and you can turn into a werewolf at any time?
When you're angry like the Hulk.
Oh, I think he could do it anytime he wants.
He can
Scott,
just do it?
Scott, right? That's from the first movie?
Yeah.
His dad could just do it when he wanted. He was driving the van. He's like, I'm a wolf. And he turned around. He's not a wolf.
He was so cute. He was such a harmless. He seemed like such a harmless werewolf.
Yeah, I think if it makes, I mean, there's no mythology to this.
No.
But I think if you make them mad, they'll change. But also, I think they can just be a werewolf as much as they want.
It has nothing to do with a moon.
Nah.
You don't have to be mad even. You can just be happy and still be, because he was catching frisbees.
That's what I mean. Like you just stay a werewolf.
Dude, I laughed so fucking hard at that frisbee scene. I could not scrub it from my
The hat
brain.
really made it.
The hat is what puts it over
And the fact
top.
that they made fun of him calling him a dog.
Yeah.
And then he goes and jumps and grabs a frisbee out of the air in his mouth.
And he's so happy about it. But also it's Jason Bateman who rocked it on Ozark, just there
Marty
with his
Bird.
stupid fucking pork pie hat.
Yeah.
And his big pleated black like R&B
had,
pants.
Don't forget his jacket.
He had flannel plaid pants.
You think that was him in the dance number?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh my
the song
God.
in the dance number. We haven't even talked about it yet.
Shit, I forgot about it.
That was a long.
Do we know who stood in for his voice?
Oh my God.
Oh, that was like, that's where it made me think of the Ferris Bueller. It's their Ferris Bueller moment.
And also this is why, to me, it didn't work as a college movie. This whole choreographed dance number
And they're van surfing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did the van surfing in the first one.
But this is definitely, I know this is exactly that. You're Marty McFly doing Johnny Be Good.
Yeah, you're right, because all young teen beat heartthrobs had to also be able to rock and roll.
Old timey rock and roll.
That's how you win people over, either through sports triumphs or musical numbers.
Do you think Jason Bateman collected his teen beats and tiger beats and teen?
Oh, I bet his mom did.
Wolf
teen
Beat.
mags?
I hope so.
I feel like when I'm, decrepit and old, you can go back and look at how high and tight it was. People loved me.
I was trying to see who did the choreography. They're not listed. They probably disavowed it.
Alan Smithy.
It was truly ridiculous.
Went on a long time too.
He gets to sing.
Was it Do You Love Me?
Yeah, it was Do You Love Me?
Which had just been in Dirty Dancing, right?
Dirty Dancing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same year.
Which also featured young people being prostituted out to keep someone
Fucking
happy so they would continue their membership in a large organization. Do you love me now that I can dance?
Baby.
What a weird dance number. Just weird. This movie is
It came
weird.
out of nowhere. So why even use a werewolf if you're not going to do any? What was I just complaining about this with another movie where I'm like, why use this story if you're not going to do the thing that the story is?
You're talking about like full moon stuff?
I don't know, but yeah, like full moon.
You kill somebody.
You kill people. You're like
now in the first one that's when he became unpopular, was when he
killed somebody.
Well, no, but he got mad and slashed somebody's shirt at a party, and he had claws and shit, and he slashed a dude's shirt and was like, grrr. And then everybody was like, ooh, and they got scared of him and backed way off, which made slightly more sense. That movie makes a little more sense in that I feel like it was treated as a movie. And this is just like a cash in on that.
Yeah.
So this wasn't treated as a movie, I don't think. This was a series of things to cash in on that. That was a bad movie, but it was made to be a movie.
Yes, that makes all of this.
But so they were scared of him in that one. That's the closest you ever get to werewolves.
I mean, there's no like silver bullets. He's completely charming and still able to speak when he's a wolf.
And there's no moment where like,
I guess the Wolfman did that, but
he's about to attack somebody he loves and like, I know you're in there.
Right. It's just none of the tropes, and it's fine. I don't.
You can fight.
You can do your kind of thing. I'm not. It didn't work for me, so therefore.
And speaking of werewolves, that werewolf makeup was awful.
It's truly terrible.
It was bad.
Yeah. You know what you do? You put a little
throbbing
hat on
But it barely looked like a werewolf. He was more like a Sasquatch.
Like a Chewbacca, Sasquatch, yeah.
It was very squatchy.
him. Barely wolf.
You need a snout at least.
Yeah.
Not just
no, they didn't. They were just like, make him hairy.
It looked like cats from Cats.
Yeah,
honestly, it was just like a dog.
You need more than a dog nose that's on the human face. You need a snout.
He was like you remember that old Disney
dog.
movie, the Shaggy Dog and the Shaggy DA, and there's like a moment where the guy changes and he's like a dude with just hair on him because he's a dog man. It's like that.
Yeah.
That was a kid's movie though.
You should have called it Teen Dog.
This could have been a kid's movie. It was close to being a kid's movie.
You could have edited very easily into a kid's movie.
You just take out the fuck break.
And a couple other things, but it's just
The flat asses, you're gonna have to get rid of them.
just weird.
Sex and nudity is listed as mild.
I would say.
There's a short scene where several girls can be heard having sex with Todd behind a closed door. One of them steps outside for a moment and she is wearing bra and panties. Violence and gore is mild. What is
There wasn't it was just boxing, which is the most violent sport, but it's a sport.
Profanity is mild. One use of shit, one use of hell, and one use of stupid.
Stupid profanity?
A few religious exclamations. Alcohol, drugs, and smoking were mild. Frightening and intense scenes mild. Todd transforms into a werewolf.
Very mild.
I want to say that there's at one point like Jason Bateman is like, I'm not gonna fight anymore, and I'm not gonna wolf out, and the dean says, I hope you die in there. I was like, damn.
That's the weird. Those are the moments that are really funny, or when it shifts, and you're like, somebody had the big ambitions for like how deep the tone of this could go, and it's like somebody beat most of that out of the writing staff, but then there's just some they couldn't get out, and it's those moments where there's that real serious bit they put in both, even the first Teen Wolf where he talks about his mom getting killed.
Yeah, there was a little bit of family drama in that one.
I wanted him to like wolf out during the last fight and like punch somebody's head off a la Jason takes him in.
I get you. I gotta say though, I am so happy that we didn't have to sit through him wolfing out. I mean, he did wolf out in the fight, but only to stand up, and he didn't go all the way. Right. I was so happy because before this fight, I was like, oh, this would make me so happy if he didn't become a werewolf again and we were just done with that. That would be amazing. And then we mostly were.
I heard you.
And I thought we were going to have to sit through him totally wolfing out in the boxing ring and the guy being like, whoa, and then him looking at his like mousy girlfriend and like pulling the hair back all in and just fighting like a little wee man, pulling it back in for her. And we didn't have to have that. he just took a real beating.
He really did.
I would love
As a werewolf, that's one of your
I
skills,
love
is taking a real ass kicking.
I love the moment when Chubby looks over and he sees like a little metal, like, what is that, a nut? A bolt. A
Oh,
nut.
yeah, bolt. Yeah. Or I mean, a nut.
A nut.
You're right.
The other best character after the coach.
He picks it up and just flings it at the boxing bell, the ring bell.
That was
to
kind
end
of,
the.
that was a
and
pretty
the-
good
I
moment.
thought that was funny. So I'll give you that.
They were weird,
maybe.
like him and Styles. This
Yeah.
could have been, again, never a good movie, but it could have been a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it could have been more enjoyable, and it could have had a story that tied together.
I'd love for Jason Bateman to just record a commentary for this,
Yeah.
to hear what it was like making this movie from his perspective and like how he feels about it now.
Maybe.
I know they make fun of him for it on
Yeah.
Smartless.
Yeah, the three of them should record a commentary. Smartless should do a commentary track for Teen Wolf 2.
Yeah.
I would pay
Big bucks.
$50 for one.
Who else is on that show?
It's
Sean Hayes, Jason Bateman, and Will Arnett.
Oh, nice.
a great podcast.
Are we done talking about Teen Wolf? I don't think we can.
We gave our discussion was more of a movie
Yes.
than Teen Wolf was.
Next week, Mel did not get back to us, so we had an alternate.
We ran into Nick at Horror Hound. He's like, hey, the last time I saw you guys, my son's standing here. This almost grown human wasn't even alive. And then we were like, whoa. And we commiserated about being old and stuff. But we had a great time. And I was like, you know what, Nick? You're picking. So he gave us the choice between Pieces and Hell Night. And we had done Hell Night not that long ago.
Yeah.
So we're going to do Pieces, y'all.
Pieces of Jupiter.
And drops of it.
So, ugh.
If you want a chance to be the person who picks our final main attraction next month, which is Hispanic Heritage
Are we
Month.
still doing that even though Lewis is?
Yeah, he's chosen 3 movies already.
All right.
And those will be sent out in the teaser. But if you want a chance to pick that 4th film, sign up for our mailing list at notlp.com. You go to it's on the front page on desktop, but on mobile, what we learned on the weekend.
Go to the contact.
Go to the contact page.
It's in there.
We learned that the hard way this
It was a
weekend.
deeply stupid moment in our lives. It was really funny. At the end of every show, we always say hi to our Beelzebub.
We sure do.
Patreon.com/NOTLP if you want to become one of them. Elise.
My beautiful wife.
Beautiful.
So talking heads cadence. This is not my beautiful wife.
Alyssa. Brandon and Emily. Jeffel.
How did you get here?
Iona Goodwin.
Oh, a great one.
Dr. Brian.
Hi, Doc.
Ghostface Billa.
What's up, Doc? Hi, Ghostface Bella. What's up?
You could also be Old Dirty Billstered. And then you could continue.
I'm just gonna power through.
No, I want to write that down.
I'm just tired.
Okay, I'm sorry. Bill Farner. Frosted Blakes. Blaine Yogurt. Jordache Jeans. Paul. Great time hanging out with Paul and his dogs. Oh my God.
Oh, they're so cute.
Jeremy Cassie. I hung out with you too and you're amazing. And Gamora. I didn't get to see her.
I talked about
Ernie.
saying power through.
Huh?
What did I say about powering through?
Ernie. Dave Siebert.
And he's like, don't make me get my panties out.
Monica. And Dustin. Thank you so
Yeah,
much,
y'all.
y'all.
We appreciate
Back
you.
next week with Pieces.
Love you.
Bye.
Love you to pieces.